For most of us, there is some form of health and wellness resolution in the new year. This is the year I'm going to change my life. This is the year I'm going to lose weight. This is the year I'm going to gain muscle. This is the year I'm going to improve my relationship with food. This is the year I start to feel confident, something in that realm. I started my fitness journey almost 11 years ago, and it's been such a ride, and I feel like there are things that I could have done better at the beginning to be in a better place, but ultimately I said I was going to do something, I committed to it, and here we are 11 years later, and fitness and health has always just, since that point, has been a part of my life and something that I'm so passionate about. So I want to give you guys all the tangible ways that you can change your life, you can change your habits. That way in 2026, you can look back and be like, damn, that year I said I was going to do something, and I followed through, I committed, and I stayed consistent for a whole year. I do online coaching. I work with women on their health and wellness goals, and recently realized with all of my clients is everyone is a little bit afraid of themselves. Everyone is so afraid of saying they're going to do something and then not do it. And I had a client recently ask, I'm just worried that once my motivation is gone, what am I going to do? Because right now she has a lot of motivation. I think a lot of us are kind of in the same boat, right? We've all been there. We've all started a diet or committed to an exercise routine, and then 3 to 4 weeks you don't see results, you start to not feel good, and you're like, okay, that's it, I'm out. But we were having a conversation, and I was telling her that why do we get addicted to certain things? Why do we get addicted to food, or why do we get addicted to like kind of our vices, right? Or like the bad things? Because we get that almost instant gratification. You get that dopamine hit, that serotonin hit. You eat something really yummy and it enters your system, and it's almost immediate, right? Unfortunately, with developing better habits and getting to a good routine with your fitness and health, that gratification is very, very, very delayed. But it is there. And the way that you can get addicted to all the bad things is the same way that you can get addicted to all the good things. It is so, so true. And the reason I think I've been able to stay so consistent despite, even like going through health issues and all these different things is because I'm addicted to it. I am addicted to my routine. The first month and a half or 2, or even maybe for some of you 3, of your journey, you're not going to see physical results because our body is very, very, very resilient to any kind of change, right? So you have to put your head down and you have to remember you're doing this for the delayed gratification. Just because you're not seeing it right now does not mean you're not going to see it later. But when you do, it's going to feel so much better. It's going to hit way better than that food that you're addicted to, or the smoking if you want to quit smoking, or drinking, or whatever it is, all of those things. And by the way, I want to make something clear. I have definitely struggled with my relationship with my body and relationship to food. So I think one of the things I'm really, really proud of is finding a balance and finding an outlook that I don't necessarily view things as bad or good, but however I do view it as like some things are going to just be ultimately better for me than others, and it's up to me and my responsibility to decide that 85% of the time I'm going to do all of the good things for my health, and the rest is to live your life. The rest is to enjoy and have a good time with your friends and your family and yourself, and treat yourself and allow yourself to have these things because it's part of life's enjoyment. So I don't want you to look at this video and think that it's very black and white. It's not. I really do believe that the sweet spot for health and wellness is 85%. If 85% of the time you are doing the things that you know you should be doing in order to live a long, healthy, happy life, then you will be better for it. And I really do believe that if you go to 100%, it's actually setting you back. Because anything that is that all-consuming, it will consume you in itself. And life will just become unenjoyable, and you're going to be so focused on, can I have this? Can I eat this? Can I go here? And can I miss a workout? And you're not going to be present in your life. So finding that sweet spot is actually the beginning to everything. The person who gives something 100% and the person who gives something 85%, they'll most likely end up at relatively the same spot later in life. But the person who gave it 85% will probably be happier for it. They'll have more memories, they'll have a better relationship with food, better relationship with their body. So again, 85%, that's your sweet spot, that's where you want to land. And remembering that this all or nothing mentality is actually very false, and it's been, this narrative has been fed to us by diet culture and everything, and I have fallen victim to it. I was somebody who was like, I have to eat 100% clean or else everything I've done has gone out the window, and that's so false. It could not be further from the truth. Our body is so smart. Our body is constantly trying to help us and reach our goals, but our body is also always trying to maintain homeostasis. So anytime you challenge it a little bit, anytime you step out of your comfort zone, anytime you're doing something different, our body's like, no, I'm good here because this is what I'm used to. So getting out of that routine is also going to take a little bit of discipline, a little bit of self-reliance and self-resistance. And those are the two words I want you guys to take into 2025. Not motivation. Motivation goes out the window. Motivation, you're going to wake up one day, you're going to be super motivated. You're going to wake up other day, you're not going to be motivated. You cannot rely on that. But being a self-reliant person, being somebody who's like, I said I was going to do something and I'm going to do it despite my feelings, it's a very powerful way to be. It's a way that helps you control the things that you can control, right? And you can control your attitude and your commitment to things. So even if you wake up and you're not feeling too good, that's okay. I'm gonna have bad days. Tomorrow might be better, but it doesn't mean that I get to just throw the whole day away or throw the whole plan away, right? No, I'm going to commit. I said I was going to do something, I'm going to do it. I promise you guys this. Why does health and wellness, and I'm sorry I keep going on tangents, but why is health and wellness so important? It's because it teaches you about commitment. And I think people who are able to commit to stuff, they're ultimately creating a really good relationship with themselves. And because of that, the relationships in their life, their work, everything else improves because of it. Because all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, oh yeah, I have my own back. It's a really powerful, wonderful, wonderful feeling. And I really want all of you guys to experience it. All right, now that I've kind of gotten the pep talk out of the way, I told you guys I was going to give you tangible tips, and here they are. And this is all the things that I've learned over the last 11 years of my fitness journey. I truly, full-heartedly believe that everything is in the little habits, and if you're able to habit stack, especially if you're busy in your life, that is going to be the best thing. If you're somebody who's like, I don't know how to do all these things in my day, I don't have enough time, I'm gonna tell you this, and it might not be what you want to hear, but we are all so addicted to our phones. Most of us are scrolling, most of us are watching TV. It's not to say that that's not important, but if you're looking for time, that's where I would look for it, okay? I would evaluate your day and be like, okay, maybe instead of waking up in the morning and scrolling on my phone for 15 minutes, I'm gonna take those 15 minutes and I'm going to habit stack the crap out of my day. You really only need 20 minutes in the morning to have a quote-unquote healthy morning routine, and this is what my morning looks like. Again, take from this morning whatever you need and whatever you're able to implement in your day, but I have like 4 things that are pretty much non-negotiables. My morning usually starts off with a skincare routine, and this takes around 5 to 7 minutes. I don't have a super crazy routine. I wash my face and then I put on some moisturizer, and if I have some time, I will use the gua sha. I actually got a new tool recently and it's so nice, you guys. It's warm, it has a little bit of red light, it's so nice, and it just makes for such a nice morning routine to not scroll on my phone, but instead to spend 5 minutes opening up my lymph nodes, massaging my face, really giving myself that time. And by that point, I feel like less puffy and I feel a little bit more like myself, right? Then I go to the kitchen and I have a big glass of water and I will get started working on my breakfast. My breakfast lately has been a cacao latte because I am quitting caffeine this year. For the most part, I'm gonna have matcha here and there as a treat, but for the most part, I just feel significantly better without caffeine. I feel like I sleep better, I have way less anxiety, especially around that time of the month. It's just not something I wanna rely on, and I'm really proud because over the last month and a half, I really haven't even had a matcha, maybe one or two. Then I make myself a nice, healthy, protein, fat, and carb-rich breakfast. Balanced breakfast. For me lately, it has been a Greek yogurt bowl. I use full-fat Greek yogurt. I put a lot of berries in it, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, and then I put a little bit of honey on top. I feel like with this, I kind of cover all of my bases. I make sure I have a decent amount of protein. I have some micronutrients, antioxidants first thing in the morning, a little bit of fiber. The yogurt is full fat, so I have some fats in it. One thing I will say, you do not want to cut out any kind of food groups. We are all about balanced eating. You guys, something we're going to see in 2025, and I'm predicting it right now, is I think people are really going to realize that all diets are a trend. Right now, what's trending is an animal-based diet, whereas like 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, it was the vegan diet. Before that, it was gluten-free, whatever it is. Find a way of eating that works for you. And if I wake up one day and all I'm craving is a yogurt bowl, that's what I'm gonna have. Some days I crave more dairy, some days I crave more meat, some days I crave vegetarian-based vegan meals. And I think that's my body communicating with me. Our cravings are telling us stuff. Our cravings are extremely important. You do have to have developed taste buds for healthy food in order to really pay attention to your cravings. I think that if you're just starting out your fitness journey, it's gonna be really hard to pay attention to them because you might be craving a lot of things that you know maybe are not super healthy for you. If you're craving sugar, for example, there might be a reason for it, but can you find a better alternative? Can you eat, dates with peanut butter if you're craving brownies? And it's not to say that you don't get the brownie. You can still have that brownie, you can still have that cake, you can have that in moderation. I think it's finding little replacements while not completely cutting things out. That's what really moderation is all about. Can you find a healthier alternative? Healthier alternatives are wonderful, and I don't think they have to replace anything 100%, but if they can replace it 85% of the time, you're already doing so much better. The next step in my morning routine is kind of a way to track all of my progress, and this is pretty new to me this year. I mean, I started using it end of last year, which was literally last month, but I'm super excited because I am partnering with them on today's video, and it's been really, really cool to get so much insight into my body from this. If you're looking for a way to track your progress and stay accountable and stay consistent, look no further. I have found it. This is the Body Pod by Hume Health. This is not a scale, okay? So we're not even gonna call it that. This is a body analyzer. This is the world's first portable body analyzer, and it actually has 8 frequency sensors, which can tell you very precise weight, your entire body composition, and it is very, very precise. Like, it told me so many things that I never knew, and I'll show you guys in a second. But it can also tell you your heart health, your metabolic age. I mean, so much insight that you can use in order to create a better routine that suits you and your lifestyle and what you're looking for. It's really easy, actually. You stand on the scale and I hold the little handles up, and then you get all of your statistics sent to the app, and it tracks everything, and it shows everything in such an easy, digestible way. The little sensors that are embedded in the handles are able to scan your torso, arms, legs, and even heart rate at an accuracy of 98% in comparison to a medical grade body analyzer, which is pretty incredible considering the fact that you can get it at home. And this is gonna blow your mind because this blew my mind. And the real reason I really wanted to work with them is actually because they are HSA and FSA eligible. What it means is if you have those two, you can actually get the body analyzer covered by insurance, so you can get it completely for free. This is pretty incredible, and in comparison price-wise, it's, even if you can't get it, covered by insurance, it's still really, really incredible. I'm gonna go through my stats for you right now. So my metabolic age is 28, and I am 29 now, so I'm proud of that, but I wish it was better. I wish it was around 26. So I think that's something I'm gonna focus on this year. Body analyzer definitely told me, like, it tells you your resting heart rate and stuff, and that's something I want to improve on. I think that for the last few years I've just focused so much on slow and steady movement, and I do think it's really, really important, but I also think that I need to incorporate a little bit more heart health exercise into my routine, and since I've moved, I've been pretty good with that. I'm pretty proud of myself. It also tells you your right arm muscle, left arm muscle, which I am the same in both of those. Interesting. My trunk muscle mass is 41.5 pounds. My right leg muscle mass is 14.7 pounds, and my left one is 14.5 pounds. So my right one is just like a little bit heavier, but everything is kind of standard for me, which is good to know. It also tells me my basal metabolic rate, my fat percentage, muscle mass, like how much muscle I actually have in my body. And for me, I have 86.8 pounds of muscle. There's so much more insight here. We have protein mass, protein rate, body cell mass, energetic cell content, which is actually off for me a little bit. It's a little bit high. I'm gonna look into that and see what that means, but it's just super interesting. It's insight that I would have never had, and I feel very kind of connected to my body. And I don't think it's triggering in a way that a regular scale would, just because it breaks everything down for you. So it's just such a great way to track your progress. Because again, I think in the past with like a typical scale, you would step on it and you're like, okay, why am I gaining weight? But maybe it's water weight, maybe it's muscle mass, whatever it is. There's just so much more information here. The health data is also AI powered, which I think is just such a game changer when it comes to your health knowledge. So if you're interested in getting one of these, again, check into what kind of insurance you have, because you can maybe get it for free. But if not, I do have a great offer for you. They're currently having a 35% off New Year's sale, but with my discount code, which will be the first code in the description bar for you, but it's just literally Mariana, I'll have it on the screen as well, you can get up to 50% off of it, which is so incredible. Probably the cheapest it's ever going to be. Discount code will only be valid for 7 days, so if you want to track your health and fitness journey accurately this year, you can click the first link in the description bar, and again, use the code on the screen. It'll just be Mariana, which is my first name. Thank you so much, Hume, for working with me on today's video. Next in my morning routine, and this is probably my favorite part, I will sit down and I'll eat my breakfast. Again, this takes 5 minutes max, but I habit stack this. I turn on my red light, which you guys have seen me use all the time. I got this off of Amazon last year, and I've used it pretty much every single day other than the days that I'm traveling, and I swear it has made a difference in my skin. It grounds me so much. I feel better when I use it, and I love the fact that I use it before I ever turn on my phone. So I'll sit down in front of my red light and I'll turn on some form of meditation. Sometimes I'll just find a random one on like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and sometimes I'll use the Open app. There's so many different ones, but it's like 5-minute meditation that just talks about gratitude and connecting to your body. I'll breathe deeper. I'll look at my food. I try to be more present with my food instead of scrolling in the morning or answering emails or going on social media, whatever it is. This allows me to just connect with my body so much more. A healthy breakfast will keep you full for longer. Hopefully, if you have a breakfast like this or something similar to it, you will have way less cravings. You're not gonna, have that 3 p.m. crash, especially if you're having your caffeine with a healthy breakfast too. I know that quitting coffee is not an option for a lot of people. It's not an option for moms. It's not an option for, people who work crazy hours. But can you add a little bit of protein to that so that you're not having caffeine and an empty stomach and just spiking your cortisol so much? Can you slow down with your coffee? Can, instead of coffee and scrolling, you just do coffee, a healthy breakfast, and a red light with a meditation? That's how you connect things together. Again, you don't have to give it up, but if you can ease it a little bit, if you can take it easy on your body and support it, you'll be better for it. Right, now I want to talk about eating and exercise routine, and those are kind of the last 2 things I want to cover in this video. Like I mentioned earlier, there are so many diets. There's animal-based, plant-based, paleo, gluten-free, vegan, whatever. I think the best thing that you can do is eat a diverse, colorful, micronutrient, balanced diet. If dairy makes you not feel good, cut it out. If gluten makes you not feel good, cut it out. If you feel lethargic and tired, maybe you're not digesting meat well, cut it out. But don't cut those things out just because you see your favorite influencer do it or because it's trendy. I truly, full-heartedly believe that the more diversity that you have, the better it is. The better it is for your microbiome. Our microbiome loves to eat different kinds of vegetables, fruits, spices. I mean, our ancestors used to eat a much more diverse diet than we do right now. And I do think you kind of have to have your staple meals that are, easy and go-to, and they have protein, carbs, fats, micronutrients, all that kind of more on the go stuff that you can eat from in your busy days. But on the days that you're able to, try and play around with different meals, especially slow cooked meals, stews and soups, and slow cooking your vegetables, using the oven, pan frying less. That's something I'm working on this year. Food that is slower cooked, it's better for your gut health. Warm foods is definitely something you want to incorporate more of. Try and stay away from cold drinks, cold foods. Fresh vegetables like plain broccoli is going to be a lot harder for you to digest, and yes, it's good for you, it's just harder. Your body works a lot harder to break it down. You want to make it easier for yourself. All those things are a lot easier to meal prep for your week, and here you go, you have a lunch for pretty much the rest of the week, especially if you throw a bunch of stuff in there. If you throw vegetables, high quality meat, beans, or lentils, all those things are so good for you. And again, you can meal prep it and you can have it for the rest of the week. I think my next few videos are going to be meal prep videos, just because I want to give you guys a lot of really good ideas for all of this. So stay tuned. I'm gonna have like easy meal prep lunch ideas, easy meal prep dinner ideas, breakfast, all that to come. I'm so inspired in the food department these days because I feel like I have finally been able to just drown out all the noise and just pay attention to the things that make me feel good. I look at the way my grandparents used to eat and I try to kind of go towards that. They have lived long, healthy lives, and they grew their own food a lot and ate a lot of different things all the time, and they didn't really follow any kind of diets or anything, but they are, you know, doing well, and they have a really good relationship with food and their bodies, and that's something I'm just consistently and always working on. I think that your diet should be a combination of using the things that we know are good for us, things that have always kind of been consistent, which is, you know, berries have antioxidants, vegetables have vitamins and minerals, and protein is protein. Protein we need for muscle building, for feeling satiated. Fats are so good for our hormones, for our gut health. Healthy fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, fatty fish, eggs, all those, they're great for our hormones and they're great for our gut health. And so, you know, not depriving yourself of any kind of major food group or anything, I think is super important. And being consistent with it, again, giving it that 85%. And last but certainly not least, obviously your exercise routine. I have tried all of it, you guys. I overdid it with weightlifting a while back, a couple of years ago, obviously. I overdid it with cardio before that. And I really, again, think that a combination of all the exercise is going to be the best routine for you. And the best routine for you might look different than the best routine for your best friend, right? Because a good exercise routine is also not something that disrupts your life too much. One thing I highly recommend for especially people who live in cold areas is getting a walking pad. We all know how good walking is. It helps your heart, it helps lower inflammation, it improves your stress levels, it calms your nervous system. I mean, overall, it's good for you. It's not something you can really overdo unless you're walking like 30 to 40,000 steps a day, and that's damn near impossible. So getting a walking pad, and again, habit stacking. You can even watch your TV. You can still get your shows in. You can still send your emails. You can put the walking pad under your standing desk, and here you are getting some movement in and still being productive. That's something that I would definitely incorporate in your everyday, no matter what. A few other things that I would personally incorporate would be some yoga. Yoga you can do at home, and it's so good for you. And longevity wise, for like your joints and your muscles, it is so good for you. It's not maybe something that you feel extremely like you just did a workout after, but if you do hot yoga, you definitely do. Or if you do something a little bit more intense, you do. But again, just because it's not super intense does not mean that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Cardiovascular exercise, so important for you. It's not something we all love to do. I don't personally love to do, but I've started swimming this year or last year, and I've been really consistent with it over the last 2 months, and I absolutely love it. I'm not a runner. I don't like it, but I have been even running at the gym every so often. I'm really trying on working on my heart health, but I try not to overdo it, especially if I don't like a form of exercise. Lately, I've been swimming way more just because I'm like, you know what? This is something I enjoy doing. It feels better for me, and so I'm going to stick to that over running. Weightlifting or any kind of resistance training. It can be weightlifting, it can be Pilates, especially reformer Pilates, or you can go to the gym and lift weight a couple times a week. But again, I do think the theme of this video and the thing I want you to take away from it is diversity. I really think there's no perfect exercise. It's just a combination of everything. Muscle has been proven to help with disease, especially later in life. Cardiovascular, like running and swimming and biking, that's for your heart. Everything has its own purpose, and you know, doing the things that feel good to you, doing the things that you can stick to, and you don't have to do an hour and a half of a workout. You can do 30 minutes and it still makes a difference, especially if you are consistent with it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It is so long, I'm just kind of trying to wrap it up, but I have so much New Year's content coming your way. If the angle changed too much during this video, I'm so sorry. My camera keeps dying, but I just want to thank you guys so much for always being here, supporting me, and I hope that we all have an incredible, healthy, wonderful year ahead, and I'm going to be here to help you get there any way that I can.